Good evening, and welcome to Monster of the Week. I am your host, Kelly McLaughlin. We are doing things a little bit differently tonight. As you may notice, Monty is not here. So Monty is working on his thesis at the moment. And we're giving him a few weeks off to finish that up because it is crunch time for him. But in the meantime, we thought that we would fill that space with a little bit of Monster of the Week, welcoming back Mitch, who you may remember if you have watched the other Monster of the Week series. So this is a new story that we are doing tonight. It's going to be a two-part story following or using the Monster of the Week rule set, but following three new characters. And we're going to see what happens. Now, just a note for everybody. This is my first time running the stream. So if there are any technical difficulties, let me know. Hopefully sound is good. Hopefully video's good. We're going to go with the punches. We've also had a massive snowstorm here in the last 24 hours. So we're going to hope for the best. And so thank you all for joining us. Again, I'm Kelly McLaughlin running the game as not the Dungeon Master, the Keeper of Stories and Secrets, I believe it's called. And we are joined today by our very good friends.
Jill Denitis playing Juniper Albright, the monstrous.
Joe Corman playing Mr. Windermere, the mundane.
And I am Mitchell Roberts. I am playing Kiefer McKinley, but my friends call me Keith. And I'm playing the expert.
And welcome again to Monster of the Week. As we dive in, I'm going to introduce the scene, and we're going to get started. So, in northern Ontario, mid-January, amongst a sea of snow-tipped pine trees, nestled in the north of the Great Canadian Shield, amongst high cliffs and rocky hills, is a small town known as Pine Ridge. The town is primarily home to loggers set west of several warehouses and forestation machinery, as well as a former coal mine that has been closed for years. The town's population has dwindled in the past decade and now only hosts about 900. Still, the town attracts some tourists, for it is only 45 minutes away from a popular ski resort, with several cottages along the outskirts being rented for nights or weekends, as well as a well-loved mountain estate for groups of young skiers to take up for a holiday. The modest town is home to many people who enjoy their quiet seclusion nestled in the mountains. A place where everyone knows everyone. Not much happens in Pine Ridge that could be deemed out of the ordinary. The local sheriff has had little to do except for check in on the local drunks, stop kids getting in trouble, and making sure the wildlife of the surrounding forests don't cause any problems. The town houses all the normal locations one would expect to find in such a village. A gas station, grocery, convenience store, library, diner, community center, school, mechanic, a video store, a small bar, a doctor's office, and even recently, a gym. Gossip runs deep in the town, and in the small place like Pine Ridge, a person's private business never stays private for long. But on the night of January 16th, a local man, Sam Mason, known around town for frequenting the Old Sod Bar too often, ventured into the woods with a crowbar and a backpack. He was spotted by several townsfolk, his pickup truck left on the side of the road. Since that day, no one spotted him. His son still attends school, and when asked, says his dad wasn't feeling well and had caught a cold, so no one asked questions after that. Until tonight. The night of January 18th, a group of 6 kids have rented the old Windermere estate up in the mountains and are planning a ski trip the following day when the power at the estate suddenly goes out. Something is happening in the sleepy winter town of Pine Ridge. Something terrible, wicked, and otherworldly closes its icy grip on the unknowing folks of Pine Ridge. And that is where our story begins. Ooh, that was fun.
Spooky.
So,
I'm scared.
It should be.
Okay.
as we zoom into the small town of Pine Ridge, the estate up in the mountains has gone dark. But meanwhile, across the sleepy town, in a lavish manor house, far bigger than all the others in town, and very much decorated to give the impression of opulence and wealth. It sits beyond high stone walls and an iron gate intricately decorated with the gold letter W. Inside this mansion sits the wealthiest man in all of Pine Ridge, preparing to settle into a quiet evening by a roaring fireplace. Above the fire rests a massive and ornate portrait of the man himself, sitting by that very fire in a large red armchair in a fine suit, clutching a glass of 18-year brandy and looking rather stern. Mr. Windermere stares up at the portrait of himself. So who is Mr. Windermere, and what is his routine as he settles into a quiet evening in his mansion?
Yes, Mr. Windermere, as he sits in his armchair, surrounded by books and fancy art, and he drinks a drink that you would never ever spend on, because it's too lavish and it's overpriced and it's only sold to rich jerks. And as he sits there and he admires the painting, noticing the improvements made by the painter. the it's like an Instagram filter, but forever. He really he sits and drinks. His nightly routine is he's surrounded by books, but he's not gonna read them. And he used to pay someone to read them, but then Audible came out. So he sits and listens to the audiobooks of the books in his library so that he can reference them at parties and look more refined.
And Mr. Windermere, what's he wearing this evening?
His, as you said, dressed quite finely actually more relaxed. It's a sport coat and fancy pants with some nice loafers, and he's sitting after a long day of lounging. He needs to take some time off as he manages his many properties in town. There's so many to count. It's exhausting, and he must retire for the evening and sort of reflect on the successes of the day.
It's at this moment, Mr. Windermere, that your phone rings, startling you, and you weren't expecting any phone calls, and usually you don't expect any phone calls, period. Most of your staff has gone home for the evening. There are a few left, but you are the closest person to the phone. What will you do?
Charlotte?
A woman comes into the room. Yes,
James?
Mr. Windermere.
My phone is ringing.
She rushes over to the table directly next to you and picks up the phone. Hello? Yes? Yes? It's for you.
Who is it?
Who is it? It's old Bill.
Old Bill. I haven't spoken to old Bill in almost a week because we stay in regular contact. Hand it over.
She hands the phone to you.
Yes, yes, what is it?
Mr. Windermere, you know I wouldn't call unless it was an emergency, just like the sign that you hung in the office here that says, only call me in case of an emergency.
Oh, old Bill, you know I'm an easygoing chap. You can call me about anything regarding my finances, as long as it's related to my No, I'm just joshing with you, old chum.
Sir, there's an issue. There's an issue at the estate.
Yes, tell me. I am interested in all the affairs. I was just relaxing with some wine that you could never afford, and I'm sure you've tasted things that are delicious, but nothing like this. And I continue to drink it while you tell me the issue.
Listen, a big storm's hitting us. It just kind of started to blow in, and the road up to the estate, well, there's a massive whiteout. There's been I don't want to say an avalanche. That sounds pretty drastic. It's not an avalanche. It's more like a mini avalanche. Snow has fallen across the road. There are 6 kids up at the estate, and the power's gone out there. We don't know what to do, and with my bad leg, I don't know if I can get up there to help them, Mr. Windermere. I might need you to come in. The only way up to the estate now is the old tram, but I haven't got that thing running in 3 years. Do we have any other ideas, sir? We need to help those kids, I think. At least see if they're okay.
Charlotte, there seems to be an emergency. My help, they're well paid. I just want everyone to know that I pay them really well. I make a lot of money, but I also spend a lot of money. You're welcome. Trickle down economy. Anyways, Charlotte, do we still have the ski gear? Do we have do I own one car that has 4-wheel drive?
Yes, sir, you own 13.
Yes, living in the mountains. I probably did that. Or you did it, which is great thinking by you. Well done, Charlotte. You've earned a raise. Here, drink the rest of this bottle. And I stand up and do
you want me to drink this before we drive you to Old Bill's or after?
Take it home.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Take it home to the fan to the.
So that wasn't an order. That was. It's a gift.
It's a gesture. Charlotte, you know me by now. I am not a rough man. I have refined tastes, and I ask a lot of you, but I give you. It's yours. Enjoy.
So where are we going, sir?
We are headed to the Bill, you still there? Bill.
Yeah.
Yes. What estate is it? I have so many, I lose track.
Sir, the office at the end of the cottages before the road up to the manor house on the mountain.
Bill, rest your leg. I know you have one bad and one good. The good one must rest. We head to the estate tonight.
All right.
At the end of the road. Charlotte, prepare my vehicle.
Yes.
Let Florence know.
As Charlotte runs to get the vehicle and Mr. Windermere prepares his things, we cut to the old road heading up towards the cottages near the edge of the mountain. Driving along the twisting roads, heading up to the mountains, a young woman carefully navigates the snowy roads. An old tune plays on the car radio, and the weather outside seems to be getting worse by the second, with snow squalls starting to pick up. She wears the garb of a Canada Post worker. I love it. Identifying her as a mail delivery woman for the town. In her backseat rests her final few deliveries for the day. A hockey stick addressed to Gary Woods, and a back massager for old Bill Freeman. As she drives towards her destination, she navigates the roads as carefully as she can. Jill, describe your character for us.
So Juniper Albright sits in the front seat, kind of bangs on the windows because the windshield wipers aren't quite getting the snow. She needs two off. And Juniper consistently has this kind of rosy look to her face. People may assume it's because of the cold weather, but it's actually because she just has rosy cheeks more than anyone you've ever seen. And always a little bit cheery, always going along. She, finally finishing these final deliveries of the night. A few packages left over from the Christmas rush that didn't quite come in. They finally made it all the way up north here. And she's doing her duty, no matter how long it takes. Wind, sleet, snow, especially extra snow. It doesn't matter. She's going to make those deliveries tonight.
Awesome. As you drive along towards your destination, something that would seem strange to anyone besides you occurs. The snow outside suddenly slows down. The radio goes to static, and although evening has fallen, the area around the car gets subtly brighter. In the rearview mirror, a head pops up in the back seat. The head is human in most ways, save for a goat-like snout and eyes. The figure has wild, curly brown hair, and he sits topless but has these two goat-like legs as his bottom half. He lets out a mild pleading and addresses you. You seem unsurprised by the presence of this sudden goat man. Junie.
Fidget. Hello. What are you doing in the back of my truck?
Oh, I'm just here to deliver the news on behalf of the Winter Queen. She just wanted you to know that you're doing an average job and needs you to pick it up. Joy in the town is at an all-time low, and she says you have 2 weeks or else she is calling you back.
2 weeks?
Yes.
It's the middle of January, and what do you expect all the way up here in the middle of nowhere? I've been doing my very best to bring as much joy as I can to these people, but it's not enough.
Well, it just so happens that Miss Winter needs joy in this region to be picked up to 25%. And seeing as it is January, we are currently sitting in this town at a 11%. So it looks like you're going to have some work to do. There is one other thing that I should let you know about, Junie.
Another thing on top of 25%? Listen, Willie Gills and Nesbitt, they have one-day delivery options in the city, and Chris Kringle, his operations, he gets all the joy credit for Christmas that just happened, and you want me to bring it up to 25%?
The Winter Queen is quite upset with the mood in this town, and we think that given that it's a wonderful snowy wonderland up here, you should be able to do something about it. You're the best delivery person we have, and we sent you here in order to make these deliveries and raise the joy, and you're not... right, the other thing, Junie, we're friends, right?
As you can call friends that give me orders from the Queen, but yeah, of course.
That's my job. You have to understand. Outside of that, we've never really hung out outside of that, but we're friends. There's been an issue, and I need. I'm going to be looking into it. But if you hear anything around town about some of the people spotting me or following me, just tell them they made it up.
Fidget, did you get seen in the town?
Yes.
You're gonna blow my cover. I've been here for years and nobody has found out I'm a fairy. And you come over here and
Junie, I have to go. I have another 4 appointments to get to let people know. I have to let Tulip know that she's doing excellent and is at a solid 70%. She's going to be winning the great prize this month for best delivery person. So I'm going to go let her know that, and I'll be in touch with you next time that the Winter Queen needs to speak to you.
Well, sounds like that might be in 2 weeks, but you know what? I'm going to get that score up to 25%. You watch.
Before you even finish saying this, your back seat is empty and you're back on the road. Things have returned to normal. And you drive to make your delivery to Old Bill's. As you do, we cut to the local video store. Keith is closing up shop for the evening in his small little video store. A dated and faded cardboard cutout of Bruce Willis from Die Hard sits in the window, and a framed poster of the original Evil Dead greets the front entrance. He flips the sign on the door to close and shuts out the main lights. He has just a few things to take care of before he locks up. As he locks the front door of the store and gathers the garbage bins to collect the trash, Keith, what's up? What do you look like? Who are you? Tell us about yourself.
Hey, what's up? Oh man, my name's Kiefer McKinley. I've been working at this video store for 15 years. It's been great to me. It keeps the lights on, so to speak. I do live here though, so the lights are always on, technically, but we don't talk about that. Basically, I had this coworker who quit that used to be the manager, and we just kept getting paychecks, but both of them, so I'm just keeping them. And I just live here, but it's great. All the movies I can watch, which I do all the time, and I can get stuff delivered here. Life is good. I don't plan on changing a thing.
As Keith is gathering up the garbages, usually the garbages go out back. The dumpsters are just across the small, I guess you would call it, parking lot, although it's really just a paved area behind your store. And as you burst open the back door, you notice that it has started to snow quite significantly. Just a couple days ago, it was clear out. You remember going for a nice walk. And now it seems to be picking up, snowing quite hard. You're not quite dressed, but you're also probably too lazy to go get dressed, and you're going to make that dangerous trek across this snowy, barren wasteland to the 10 feet away dumpsters.
Here we go. All right, snow on my shoe. No problem. It's in my sock.
As you head towards them, a figure that you had failed to notice next to the dumpsters suddenly slides out of view, and only at the last moment do you catch what appears to be the dead eyes of a deer, its antlers and skin caked in blood as it vanishes behind the dumpster.
Okay. Okay, don't pop out on me. I'm gonna come around, dear, and see if you're okay. All right, and I'm gonna inch over. I'm here. I'm coming. I'm making calm noises so that you don't jump out at me and you know I'm coming. But I'm a friendly person, and I'm coming around, and I look behind the dumpster.
What you see is a trail of blood that leads back behind the dumpsters, and you just look up to see the deer get dragged into the woods by a figure, a hunched over figure that you can't quite make out the shape of as it drags the deer into the woods.
Nope. Okay. All right, Trash, you stay there. I'm gonna go back inside. Yep.
As you head back inside, you hear a howl echo through the night. that you can't quite place. You've heard wolves, coyotes, but this howl sounds almost like a combination of animal and human. As you close the door, and the howl fades into the howl of the cold winter night.
Okay, I'm looking around, and I see Ash, and I see Bruce Willis again, and I look around, and I see all my Mall Ninja stuff, and you know what? This thing is a menace. I gotta do something about this. But first, we need a recruitment montage. And I'm gonna pick up my phone and I'm gonna call the only people I know. The first person that pops into my head is my delivery person, probably the only person I talk to on a regular basis, Juniper. I have her number. We share movie trivia and stuff. I recommend some stuff, so I'm gonna give her a ring a ding.
Your phone rings.
Hey,
Service.
I'm glad you're calling. I have your newest package of that from that movie that we watched that other week ago.
Juniper, thank you for that. I do really appreciate that. I know that was a rush order and that must have been really tough for you, but forget about it. I just saw something nuts. Okay, I was taking out the trash, and then there was this deer, and it didn't look good. It looked really messed up, actually. But it could have been a cute deer. So I was like, "Don't worry, deer. I'm gonna come help you. I'm gonna help you because I'm a good person." And then I went behind there, and the deer was like way far away, like farther than it should have been. And there was this gigantic hunched over thing that, looked like a monster. Okay, have you ever seen Annihilation? There's like this bear monster.
I don't think we've no.
It's okay. There's this gigantic monster, bear-like, if we're gonna stay in the realm of the world, but it was outside of this. Anyway, can you please come over here? We need to assemble a crew, montage style, and take care of it. We need to call Mr. Windermere, and we need to save this town, just like Ash and Bruce Willis.
Can it wait till I'm just dropping off a few packages and a few people and things they've been waiting for. Can it wait?
Who knows what this monster's gonna do next? I mean, granted, it did just go into the woods. It could just be eating a deer right now. We don't know how fast it eats and how fast it digests and when it's gonna get hungry again.
I mean,
I'm gonna have that on your conscience?
Bear, but...
Juniper, at this moment, while you're on the phone in your car driving in the snowstorm, a car suddenly veers in front of you and cuts you off.
I put on the brakes.
I want you to make an act under pressure roll.
Oh my.
To see if you brake in time.
Distracted driving.
Oh.
This is why I have someone drive for me.
10.
All right. You slam on the brakes just as Mr. Windermere hears the honk of your horn and looks out behind him to see that he's just cut you off. Or at least Charlotte did.
Are you okay?
Mr. Windermere's driving crazy again.
Keep driving?
Go under the speed limit just a few clicks, Mr. Windermere. I shout out the window. Just a few clicks.
You're okay? You didn't hit him?
Oh, yeah. I handle, the mail truck every day. It's,
Good on ya. Now, are you coming? I need your help.
As long as I can deliver my packages after. I can't have, the citizens of this town thinking that they're not going to get their mail when I say they're going to get their mail on time. Okay?
I get it. If someone ever came into my store and wanted a movie that we didn't have, I would feel bad, but I don't know what that's like because I never have any customers. But okay. All right. I'll call some other people. Just come over as soon as you can. Okay.
I'll make my way.
Thank you. Bye.
Mr. Windermere.
Turn around.
Charlotte, keep your eyes on the road. I almost spilled my other brandy.
My road brandy.
Your travel brandy.
No. I jest, Charlotte. I'm being prepared. We have quite the trek ahead of us if we are going to climb over snow. If you're gonna, no, we'll do it together. Charlotte, we must make sure that those kids are okay. They need to give a good review on my Airbnb.
Charlotte, who doesn't really seem to be listening to you, just continues driving as she normally would, and she pulls up to a log cabin with a flickering light in the window. And as she pulls up, she turns and says, "Mr. Windermere, we're here."
Is this before the avalanche part, or did we make it past that?
Oh no, that's further up the road.
Okay.
The pass that goes up to the estate is it's a bit of a dangerous pass, and sometimes in the snowy weather, the snow can blow from the top of the mountain onto the pass and cause problems.
We're not there yet.
We're on the mountain at the low part of it.
Charlotte.
The estate. We're at Bill's office. We're not at the estate.
Oh yes, we must get the keys and stuff. Why are we here, Charlotte?
I thought we were going to Bill.
No, leave Bill. Oh, his old bum leg. He can't help in this scenario. We're hiking. I am an adventurous old chap. Where's your sense of whimsy, Charlotte? Do we need Bill?
Sir, he has the keys to all of your estates.
He has the keys, of course, Charlotte. I told you. Let's go, and I'm gonna exit the vehicle.
As you step out of the vehicle, Juniper pulls up as well.
Is she stopping, or is she gonna
Revenge?
Yes. Should she keep driving into me? No.
See little honks. I'm like, beep beep. Mr. Windermere.
Juniper.
Such weather.
Old, Mr. Bill. I probably don't call him Old Bill. Do I don't call him Old Bill to his face and behind his back?
I mean, a lot of the town calls him Old Bill.
I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah, Old Bill. As you know, an employee of mine. He's quite old, as his name suggests. And it's the snow is quite devilish out here, so I've decided to check on some of my residents. They seem to be trapped by the road being cut off, and I was gonna go just check on old Bill. What brings you out here so late? Still doing deliveries?
Of course, I have to do my duty as a postal worker to make sure everybody gets their packages with a smile, and especially with it being after the holidays and such. But I thought you would have just sent someone out, having staff and all to check on him.
Oh yes, normally this would be a simple phone call or a written letter or some kind of other form of communication, electronic mail. But I found that I had quite an easy day today, so I thought, why not take advantage of the opportunity to stretch my legs? I also have a bit of a buzz on from some old brandy I had lying around.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you had something to drink to keep you warm in this weather, because it's really the cold front's coming in.
This suit jacket is made of alpaca wool and is good up until like -40. Yeah, it's very, very nice. So I do not feel cold at all. Also, anyways, more about my immense wealth later. I'm going to go steal a bill. Can I take the package for you?
Oh no, I must do it myself. I can't just hand somebody else mail without signature and authorization. It's a whole thing. So I'll come with you.
Your oath it's incredible. The dedication.
Anything to bring joy to this community, I will do it. My very best.
You're a light in this dark and dreary place.
Thank you. Can you tell my boss? I appreciate that.
I will give you a great Yelp review. I will make Charlotte, open Yelp.
Yes, sir.
Charlotte's my Siri, by the way. Hey, Charlotte.
Yes.
Leave Juniper a good tip this year. Make sure she got her double bonus. Anyways,
Do you want to do
bills,
the normal 10%, or would you like to go higher this year, Mr. Windermere?
10% of her net worth. Yes.
All right.
That's how I pay. It's nothing.
Wow, that's really generous of you, Mr. Windermere.
I'm going to just trudge off. Oh yes. And all that. And I head towards Old Bill's store.
As you open the door, it's a small little cottage with a fireplace, a few sitting chairs. There's a desk, a bunch of keys hanging behind what is a grizzled old man with a big white beard. He's wearing a flannel plaid shirt. He's a pretty big guy. You see he has one leg up on a chair, and he looks rather frazzled. And as you come in, he goes, "Oh, Mr. Windermere, thank you so much for coming. Again, I apologize." And he points to a sign that is framed on the wall that says, "Do not call me unless it's an emergency, signed Mr. Windermere." I'm really sorry, but the power's gone out, the road's closed, those kids, I'm worried about them. Plus, if anything happens to them, it's a huge liability, and it could tank our Airbnb that we have going on there.
This is why, Bill. It is I dutifully take on your responsibility for the evening, and no further. I will have you. You need a replacement. You need to. You're old. You've been old the whole time I've known you.
It's
You've
true.
just been old, Bill.
You met me when I was 35, but I already had,
My God, man. Money does prevent age. I need to... Oh, goodness.
Don't worry, Bill. You're as young as ever.
Oh, thanks,
Just
Junie.
wait till you hit 120. It'll be fine.
You don't happen to have my back massager, do you?
Oh, yeah, right here. Here you go.
Ah, this brings me so much joy.
For saying that, I really appreciate it.
Ah, it's no problem, Junie. You're a gem. Just want you to know that. Junie, I know you like to help out in town. Mr. Windermere, I know he's, how do I put this? He's not good at doing things.
Excuse me, old man Bill. I find myself quite good at a ton of things. Tell them, Charlotte. Tell them, Charlotte! I'm yelling. I'm yelling at the door.
I know what you mean. I've delivered enough packages to know that it's not him putting together his furniture or his library or anything like that. So
I need Mr. Windermere here to go just make sure that the tram is operational so that we can get those kids off of that mountain, or at least check in on them. I don't know if you have the time, or at least you can see Mr. Windermere to the tram. I don't know. Maybe I'm asking too much.
No, old man Bill. There's not too much involved when it is my revenue and assets at stake. I will take this over, and I will have Charlotte call up some another business to clear the road tomorrow. I'm sure everything will be sorted out. And take the night off, and only tonight.
Charlotte pops her head in the door. Mr. Windermere, I'm off work in 10 minutes.
you know what? I mean, my friend Kiefer, he was expecting me to check in. Maybe he could come with us if Charlotte can't.
Yes, this Kiefer of yours. That is fine by me. Old man Bill here is not too useful. Haha! And I pat him on the leg and.
Oh, my leg.
I'm sorry. I will send doctors that you could not afford ever in your entire life to check in on your leg.
Charlotte asks again, "Sir, do you need a ride home?"
I've got
Charlotte,
it. I can take him in the mail truck.
The mail truck? How delightful.
Charlotte's gone. She leaves.
Don't worry, Mr. Windermere. I'm so glad to be able to help you out. Don't worry about it.
Juniper, here is my phone. You will need it later.
Okay.
We cut back to the video store. Keith, the wind is picking up even further, and you're still creeped out by what you saw earlier, and you're looking out the window of the video store, and not too far away is the tree line, which surrounds the whole town. And you keep thinking you see movement in the trees.
Okay. I gotta prepare. I'm gonna go to the back of the video store to my special area. And that doesn't sound as creepy as it is. As quite. In there, we have a collection of mall ninja stuff that I've ordered off the internet. Ironically, because I did not get a single thing from the mall. There's also health supplies, as well as Wiccas and stuff, which is like magical symbols to protect this place. And I got that off the internet as well. And so I'm in there and I'm just kind of like, I have Aliens turned on, playing really loudly. I got my cell phone in my pocket just in case Juniper arrives and gives me a call. But I'm basically like locking and loading and picking up flip knives and going like butterfly knives and be like, ow, okay, not that one. And then I'm going to take the replica silver sword from Blade Trinity. And I'm going to go, "Huzzah!" at a cardboard cutout of Mitch from Baywatch. And I slice him right in twine.
Give me a kick some ass roll.
You got it.
To see how you fare against the cardboard cutout.
All right, I am just practicing. I'm just warming up. But
What'd you get?
It was a 1 second. So that's tough, right?
Yeah.
That's a 7.
I
have 2 dice.
You
2d6, just so everybody knows how bad that is.
You hit the cardboard cutout. It slices in half and falls forward, smacking you in the face. It does no harm, but you drop the silver sword and it clangs to the ground. And as the clang ripples through, you hear outside another one of those howls.
All right. Okay, Juniper. If you're not coming, I'm going to figure out what this is myself. And then I go to the door and I unlock it. And I go, wait, that is a stupid idea. I've seen that done too many times in movies. I'm going to give Juniper a call again. And I take out my phone. Beep.
Kiefer,
Juniper.
I hear the storm is getting bad.
Okay, just double checking first that you're not driving right now.
No, Mr. Windermere at Old Bill's.
Bill? Okay. I'm gonna hang up. I can't hear. All right. Time to go to Old Bill's. And I put in my headphones and I go, no, I need to hear stuff. So just on my phone, I put on like cool music just to like walk down the street to like, and then I just kind of do this walk and then I kind of turn off the music and I kind of like look around.
You think something might be behind you.
take out my silver sword. And then I'm gonna realize that they could just see me doing that. I'm like, hey, stop! Whatever you want, just get away from me, please.
As you spin around, you come face to face with Nate, the kid who works at the convenience store late at night. He's smoking a cigarette and he just looks at you and he's like, "Whoa,
Nate,
buddy.
Bro, I nearly chopped your head off."
Why do you got a sword, man?"
Why do I have a sword? What are you talking about? You don't have a sword?
I mean, no.
You gonna build your bunker after the apocalypse too?
Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I'm a little wound up. I think I'm going to look crazy. I could have sworn I saw this monster pulling a deer carcass into the woods. And before you ask or say it's a bear, it wasn't a bear. It wasn't a bear.
Keith?
Yeah,
You're a weird guy.
I know.
I'm gonna go back to work now. I think my break's over. I'll see you around, man.
All right, man. Have a good rest of your shift.
And
See you after work.
Oh, yeah. I got plenty.
We'll meet it. All right, good.
Thanks.
All right, let me know.
All right. See you later,
All right.
man.
See you later. And then I'm gonna walk with my sword from now on, like a video game character. And then I'm gonna be like, and then I walk like a different character. I'm trying to kind of find my rhythm. Is
Cool.
what I'm doing. And I'm gonna go to Old Bill's house.
We cut back to Old Bill's house. Keith is arriving shortly. You see him coming up the road, walking apparently. It's a bit of a hike through the snow that...
I do not have a car.
Keeper, I was gonna tell you that I would have come got you, but the weather's getting bad.
That's okay. That walk helped me figure out my cool guy walk. I looked pretty cool coming up, right? You wouldn't have messed with me?
Not at all.
I knew it. Okay, listen, we need to grab Mr. Windermere. And,
He's right here.
Mr. Windermere.
You look familiar.
Yes, sir. I have been a diligent employee of yours going on 15 years now. And are we busy? Let me tell you.
Wow.
These VHSs are still very popular and fetch quite a price. And we've been in the green, and our stocks are up.
I love what you're telling me. I believe that there is this vintage market. I have it cornered in the historical media selection. I love that you're spearheading it, Kiefer. And the sword, it's not an appropriate walking stick.
Thank you for noticing, sir. This is my replica Blade Trinity sword, made out of silver. The original one is titanium, but this one is more expensive. But it was on sale for Boxing Day. So I picked
a lot
it up.
of interesting details about that.
Well, the thing is, we're all gonna need weapons for what I'm about to ask you, because this concerns all of us. I saw, and I'm not crazy, I saw a monster going into the woods. And I've seen a lot of monsters in movies. And I know when I see not a bear, okay? And I think for the safety of this town and to honor people like Ash and Bruce Willis, we need to be the heroes that I know we are and hunt, or, just find it, figure out what it is. Like, hopefully it is just a bear. But
I'm sure it's just a bear. Monsters, fairies, and other things. They don't exist.
okay.
Exist. Why would you?
How long have you been living in this town, Juniper?
years, and I've never seen anything out of the ordinary whatsoever.
Do you know the history of this town?
I mean,
Let me tell
no.
you the history of this town. I'd show you a movie of it, but it isn't that exciting. 73 years ago, give or take a couple of years, there was 4 hunters out doing what they do, hunting. But then the storm happened. And, you know, I swear just from like reading those stories, it sounded exactly like the storm that we're having tonight. And those hunters, they didn't come home with food, Juniper. They wound up dead on top of friggin' trees. On top of the trees. Just like stabbed on top of a tree like a toothpick. Like somebody was roasting marshmallows, except they were the marshmallow and the stick was a tree.
You hear at this moment, slightly in the distance, a crash.
Oh, come on. That was good timing. Just to illustrate the point that there is something freaky out there.
It's really strong. It could have just been the wind blowing over a branch.
Yes, it could have been. I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts.
Listen, Kiefer, I know you want the real world to be a movie, but it doesn't work that way. It's just regular life. This is just a regular storm.
The crash sounded like somebody may have veered off the road.
Well, we should at least go check out what that was. It sounded like a car crash.
We should go help if there's something wrong. I'd love to be helpful. I want to help. And I rush out the door.
Ditto.
Hey, both of you get back here. We must be going and checking on my guests. I have guests that are trapped. There's 6 people trapped up there with no way out. And I thought, Juniper, you said Kiefer was going to help me.
Mr. Windermere, at least they're in a house. This person could be in a car. They could be hurt. It's like, it's more urgent.
Listen, we're going to help everyone. Don't worry. We're going to bring that joy. If they're not feeling great, we're going to make them feel great. But first, we got to make sure they're not helped down here. And then we'll get the help up the mountain.
Can I see it? If I take a peek out the door, I'm going to walk outside. I'm going to take a peek. Can I kind of look in the direction of this crash?
Down the road quite a ways, you can see the taillights of a car sticking out of the side of out of the ditch on the side. Mr. Windermere, it looks like your car.
Charlotte! Juniper! Kiefer! Come with me. We must not delay. My
gosh.
stuff is in there. And I come, and I start to march off towards the car.
I follow with a strut.
And I'm like behind, like shuffling, like, oh gosh, oh geez, oh gosh, I hope they're not hurt. Charlotte.
And as I get
gosh.
closer, I just, Charlotte, are you okay?
There's
I'm
no
gonna attempt to slide over the car and then hurt myself. Or not. I mean, do it coolly.
You do it relatively coolly. You slide over the car. It is in the ditch, and as you slide over the car, Keith, you land on the other side and see again a trail of blood from the middle of the road off into the woods.
Oh no! I'm gonna look in the car real quick.
There's nobody in the car.
Oh no! Okay, this is what I'm talking about, everybody. Trail of blood. There's a trail of blood, just like the deer. Look in this direction. I guarantee there'll be a scary monster.
Or some sort of animal. Definitely, I'm
Kiefer.
betting on animal. Nothing weird.
Young man, this is not a monster, but it is some kind of horrible creature like a wolf or a wolverine or a something else terrifying. Enter slot C. So I go to the back of the car and I open the trunk and I retrieve my old hunting rifle. Charlotte's in danger and we will find her and rescue her. Juniper, call 911.
I go to call 911 on my phone.
It goes
My
through.
phone. Use my phone, Juniper. That's why I handed it to you.
I take out the other phone.
My passcode is 5555.
It's an easy passcode.
It rings like 4 to 5 times, and then somebody finally picks up. This is Ranger Roger Langley of the police department for Pine Ridge. How can I help you this evening?
Ranger Roger. Oh, exactly who I wanted to get on the phone when I called 911. Yeah. This is Juniper Albright. We're in the middle of the forest. There's blood, and we think there's a big bear eating
A monster. Big monster.
big monster bear eating people.
Yeah, you know, we heard that there was a bear wandering around. Probably just got itself a deer.
No, it took someone out of their car.
Juniper,
Charlotte.
I have Mr. Wilson here. He is drunk off of his rocker here. I'm trying to get him into the drunk tank. He's telling me that last week he saw an owl grab his cat and fly away with it. Now he wants me to go looking for his cat, but he's so drunk I think he might be making the story up. You know what I'm saying? Last week, a cat goes missing from an owl. Now you're telling me a bear got a deer and you want me to go...
Not a deer, a person. A person.
I'm sorry, why would a bear attack a person? That doesn't make any sense. The bears are actually more afraid of people than they are than there's a saying here. I think listen, do you want me to come on down there?
Yeah, no, yeah. It would be really helpful if you would.
Okay, listen, did you see an injured person? Did you see the bear attack a person?
I saw blood from a car that... Oh, geez.
Okay,
Looks bad. It just looks bad.
Tell you what, Junie, I'm gonna finish getting Mr. Wilson here to the pen and lock him up for the night so he can sober up, and then I'll head. Whereabouts are you?
We're up at old Bill Freeman's place with Mr. Windermere. He's the one that asked me to call. So.
Oh. This is the 7th time Mr. Windermere's called. Just last week he called me because he was out of brandy. He said it was an emergency.
Brandy?
It was a drunk dial, Juniper. I was drunk and I needed more drunk. And Charlotte had gone off and did something else. She's a very independent woman, and I do have a ton of respect for her, but she's missing. We must go hang up on that man. He was no good with the brandy, and he's no good now. We'll go find her ourselves. She's in trouble.
Roger, Ranger Roger. Listen, if you can get up here as soon as you can, that would be great. But I guess we're going to hunt a bear.
Now, don't go hunting the bear. You leave the bear alone. The bear will leave us alone. I'll be up there, and give me like an hour, okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks, Junie. You have a good night, all right?
You too. Have the best night ever. Just do something to treat yourself while you're on your way up here. Grab a double or something on me.
You know, I will. Thanks, Junie. Would you mind if I grabbed a couple Timbits as well?
Oh, Timbits, can you grab me a chocolate dip? That would be
Juniper.
great.
Chocolate, yeah.
I gotta go find a bear. Bye.
Juniper, there's no socializing during my phone calls. This is 911 we're talking about.
Well, friggin'
Right, sir.
Charlotte is probably being digested right now.
No,
Monster's
she's
on to its
probably
second course.
she's probably wandered off in a delusional haze. I was just listening to an audiobook about this where people become very disoriented when they hit their heads really hard. It was a very, very trivial book. But anyways,
right.
I believe we must follow the trail of
Nevertheless,
blood.
Let me
We
go
should
get a
go out
weapon
there.
first. And I go to my
Good call.
truck and I grab the hockey stick.
Nice.
And I bring it and I
Awesome.
say, this is as good as it gets, so I hope I don't have to hit a bear with a hockey stick.
I have an old hunting rifle that I usually keep in the trunk for dealing
Do you
with.
keep one in each of your car's trunks?
I have like there. It's not like weapons. It's like strictly for hunting. But yeah, it's usually like that. I have like my golf gear, my like a change of clothes.
Now, you
Probably
guys
one of those
are
emergency things.
at a scene of a crime. If you'd like, there is the option to investigate a mystery if one of you
Good call.
feels like surveying the scene.
I would love to. I'm going to follow, like, look at the blood, look at the crash to try to look at the road, try to determine how it happened, look for foot tracks. Things like that.
So you're going to give me a investigate a mystery roll. That's going to be roll plus sharp.
Okay.
On a 10 plus, you get to ask me 2 questions. On a 7 to 9, you get to ask me 1 question. And if you fail, you get to ask me no questions, and it's not good.
I got a 7.
So you get to ask me 1 question. Would you like me to tell you the options for the questions? Or do you have them in yeah? So you can ask me, what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? Some of them you might not have enough evidence to put together, so you want to be careful with which question you ask, because I have the ability to be elusive with my answer if there isn't enough evidence.
I'm gonna ask, where did it go?
So you see the trail go off into the woods towards the mountains. The trail is pretty distinct, and oddly enough, your video store, the back lot, the tree line, faces these same woods.
Connection. Okay, that is the second body that got pulled into those woods tonight. Now, there are not that many bears in this town, and I'm just gonna throw this out there again. Monster.
More
Thoughts?
likely, Kiefer, it is a serial killer. I have been listening to many true crime podcasts, and I believe that we might be dealing with some kind of man who has been living in nature, sometimes poses as the abominable snowman, and is terrorizing our poor town only recently. So, we must be ready to hunt a man. I am. How are you two?
Get that? Something that's not fantastical or magical or, I think that's a little bit more likely.
Okay, well, I'm gonna come prepared and have stuff ready for both magical and non-magical. For the magical, silver, magic dagger, and for everything, the original Magnum from Magnum PI.
Nice.
Does that really work?
Yes. Said the description online. I've never actually fired it. But it is loaded.
Well,
It
point
is
it
loaded.
away. Point
You
it
have to
away
load that
from
thing.
me. Yes.
Look what I can
We must practice proper arrangement when we are walking. And I'm going to start walking towards. I'm following the. Actually, I want to use my oops trait. So one of my moves is oops. If you want to stumble across something important, tell the keeper. You will find something important and useful, although not necessarily related to your immediate problems. So as I'm walking around the car, I want to use my oops.
As you're walking around the car, you stumble on some. It looks like Charlotte dropped something in the snow just outside the car.
And I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to try to grab it.
It's a library card.
Charlotte reads. She should know that I have one of the most expensive libraries in the world. I ordered it.
I delivered it in like 100 packages.
Yes,
Beautiful
Juniper.
library.
That was quite the month. Is there anything interesting about the card? Is it like?
Well,
is
you
it just
don't
like a regular laminated library card?
You don't own one because you have your own books, but this allows you to access the library, take books out, access to their various functions, their internet
piece of
cafe.
Technology. You can get into a library. Fascinating.
One of the few places in town where you can access the internet. Can come in handy for some folks.
Well,
Store.
what are we waiting for? You two, Juniper, bring my phone. Kiefer, bring my golf clubs. We're heading towards. We're gonna go find this creature.
Do you think
Or
we
man.
shouldn't bring your golf clubs? Do you think?
I want
gonna go
to. I want to try to manipulate.
All right, make a manipulate someone roll.
I get a 8. So I want to roll to manipulate someone.
Yeah, so on a 7 to 9, they mark experience if they do what you ask.
I will.
Fine. Are you happy?
Here.
This is gonna really make taking out my sword more difficult. Sure,
I will.
Okay, I got it. Are you happy?
Here, I'll carry the putter. I take the putter.
Yeah,
out of
and I'm gonna throw a couple of the bigger
Thanks,
clubs. We
Juniper.
probably won't need any of these. I just think if we have to. I was recently listening to an interesting book about survival, and they had to create a tourniquet and stabilize a leg. One of my golf clubs will be perfect, and I also have, I think, some cloth wrapping in the bottom part. Probably an old shirt. You can use that to cover a wound. There's a wound here.
If I had known it was a med kit, I would have been
Not a med
making it
kit.
up
It's
quicker.
just a bunch of rich stuff that you'll be surprised about.
As you're walking through the woods, chatting about your golf clubs, Mr. Windermere, you step in something.
Oh, my loafers.
You look down, and it appears that you're following the trail of blood and have stepped into some sort of meat. You're not sure what. It's a bloody hunk of something.
I'm gonna get down and give it a sniff.
You know what? Roll investigate a mystery.
I'm gonna sniff it. I got a 9.
You get to ask me one question. Would you like me to repeat them?
I'm going to.
Can I
No,
help?
I can see it here.
Can I help him out?
Yeah, actually, yeah, if you want to help him out. So you both lean down to check out the meat. Juniper before, so she might get you a bonus. You rolled a 9,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna roll help out, which is
Plus cool.
7.
Your help grants them +1 on their roll, but you also expose yourself to trouble or danger. So all three of you huddle down to investigate.
I'm sniffing it. I'm taking a look at it. I want to know what happened here. I want to try to understand, like, is this fallen off something? Was it bitten off? Was it sliced off? Was it off of a person? I'm trying to figure out what happened here.
It looks like a mouthful of meat that was ripped off of something. And it's and because of Juniper's help, you get to ask me a second question. But it looks like this hunk of meat was ripped off with teeth.
where did it go? Did it seem to is it following I mean, I guess it's following the trail.
It's at this moment that something hits you on the head.
Ow!
Softly. You just
Oh.
feel it. Something
Hey.
land on your head. As you look up,
no.
another drop hits you on the head. It's
I've
blood.
seen this before.
As all of you look up, you see a hunched,
Oh, I knew
gaunt
it.
figure
Oh,
in the
God.
tree, chewing on an arm. Further up in the tree, pierced in the branches, is Charlotte. And as the creature looks down at you, it moves as if it's going to leap. What do you do?
Guys, let's book it to my place. Okay. You gotta book it to my place, guys. I have a place we can go.
As you start to run, I'm going to have each of you roll an act under pressure.
I want to use my move. What could go wrong?
Sure.
And
What does that do?
Whenever you charge into immediate danger without hedging your bets, hold 2. You may spend your hold to inflict harm, reduce some harm suffered, or take +2 forward on an act under pressure roll. So I go, Charlotte, what are you doing up there? Get away from her, you fiend! And I point the gun, and I'm gonna try to take a shot at this horrible creature.
Give me give me a kick some ass roll then.
I'm gonna take +2. Oh baby, I'm gonna take +2. Oh no, on act under pressure. Sorry. I'm going to. I rolled a 10.
All right, so you get to take with kick some ass, you get to take +1 forward, give +1 forward to another hunter, or you can inflict terrible harm, +1 harm, suffer less harm, or you force them where you want them.
I am going to inflict terrible harm, and I'm gonna use one of my bonuses to one of my holds to inflict an extra harm. So I'm gonna do +2 harm. So I just take the rifle and I aim it up.
Do you know how much harm your rifle does normally?
It does 3 harm. So it's gonna do 5 harm in total.
So you shoot at the creature as it gears up to pounce down, and you blow a hole right through its chest. And it seems to go limp for a second, dropping the arm, which spirals down out of the tree and hits Keith in the face.
Oh, come on!
The creature, looking like it's about to keel over, regains itself, and before you can do anything else, it makes a leaping motion and vanishes. And you hear that same howl, like a chorus of animals mixed with a cold wind that blows through the trees. You almost feel it as the howl echoes around you. The wind picks up and the snow starts falling heavier.
Oh man, that was a crazy bear, huh? That was a crazy human murderer, right? Oh man, I wish I didn't see the bear.
Mutated or some
No,
sort
stop
of
it!
genetic.
Stop it, Juniper! It was a freaking monster. It was a monster, okay?
Kiefer,
sorry.
we all saw something horrible, but we must save Charlotte. Her arm
Is all that's left of her. I'm sorry. We need to find shelter and we need to prepare ourselves and find out what this thing is, so that
What
we
about
don't
those kids
get
stuck
eaten.
in the mountain? How are
Oh, gosh, you're right.
There's
they're just like sitting ducks?
clutched in Charlotte's hand of the arm that fell to the ground is the bottle of brandy that you
Keep
had
that.
gifted her.
Juniper, please make sure her arm is safe. And I'm gonna start. I hand Kiefer my rifle, and I just yell, "Reload!" and I start trying to climb the tree.
You're going to try to
the
climb
arm
the
and
tree.
put it in my golf bag.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
With the hand
Makes more
sticking out.
sense. Yeah.
Is her body's up in the tree, right?
Yeah, it's up in the tree.
Charlotte,
Listen,
and
Mr. Windermere, here, if you guys go on ahead, I'll do my best to try to throw a rope up there and get her down or something.
Nonsense! You're gonna do this alone? We must
me
rescue
help.
her.
I
Mr.
was
Windermere,
in
you're like
uh,
60.
Girl Scouts when I was younger, and I'm very handy with tools.
Juniper often talks about how great of a climber she is, Mr. Windermere.
Please,
I'm just
Juniper,
saying.
I would love your assistance. I find getting a foothold is quite treacherous in these loafers.
Can I
Well-
see how high he actually is at this point?
Listen, I don't want you to.
I'm on the
her-
first rung. I'm like trying to figure out like the first like climb. I'm still like sussing it out.
I want to try to convince him to like go on ahead.
All right, roll manipulate somebody, Juniper.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, but 5.
All right.
I have a -2.
Uh,
Can I help?
yeah, you can help. Roll a help out plus cool.
6.
On
So
a
you-
mess. What
so-
a mess.
So not only does she not successfully manipulate anybody to go anywhere, but Keith, what do you say that makes it worse?
Oh God.
Juniper, that's nonsense. See, this is what it means when we have your generation just takes too much credit, and I give you a job and you don't do it. I will do it myself, and I start to attempt to climb.
Give me an
gonna
act under
whisper-
pressure. Oh,
But
Go ahead.
loudly under my breath. Okay, boomer.
I get a 4.
on your act under pressure. So you grab the first branch and pull yourself, and the branch snaps, and you fall to the ground. And
Can I try to catch him?
yeah, you could try to roll. You know what? Give me a protect someone roll.
What does
Plus
that
tough.
use? Tough. Cool. 12. I got a natural 12.
Oh wow.
Nice.
You
fell like 4 feet.
Yeah, he falls 4 feet into your arms.
I got you. I got you.
It's,
Oh my goodness! My life flashed before my eyes.
Juniper, you
welcome.
hear a rustling in the trees behind you.
I swing around with my hockey stick and I go, ah!
You see the creature again in the top of the tree nearby, staring at you, and it lets out another one of those howls and prepares to pounce again. What do you do, Juniper?
And where am I? Are the guys in the tree behind me?
They're like trying to climb the tree behind you, yeah.
Okay. I run around. How big is this tree?
The trees here are like 30, 40 feet tall, like pretty thick
Wide.
around, like as thick as a person. You could hide behind one.
I'm going to run around the tree, but I'm not just going to hide. I'm going to use my flight ability because I have wings. And I'm going to, on the other side of the tree so they can't see me, fly up to the next branch.
You fly up the tree that has Charlotte in it. You fly up into that tree, and the creature again makes a leaping gesture, but appears right in front of you.
Ooh,
And it's
no.
at this moment that you get a closer look at it. It looks human, but its skin is tight and leathery. It looks emaciated, like it's starving. Its teeth are yellowing, its eyes are bloodshot, its nails have grown into long points. And it rears up to claw you. What are you going to do?
I'm going to use my magical force to attack it.
All right, give me a kick some ass roll.
Um, 4.
You put up your hands to try to blast it with magical force, and its claws slam you across the face.
Oh no.
Doing 1 harm. Now, do you have any armor on? Not yet. No?
I don't think so.
No. All right. You also fall out of the tree from the attack. Keith, you don't really understand how. You just caught Mr. Windermere, heard the howl, and look up, and Juniper's falling out of the tree. You have a split second to react.
Catch. I'm warmed up now.
All right, give me a
used to just
protect
catching
someone
people.
roll again to see if you can stop Juniper. She's falling from much higher than Mr. Windermere did.
Okay, and my tough is 11.
Ooh, so you can either suffer little harm, minus 1 the harm, or all impending danger is now focused on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back.
So if I were to say no harm is inflicted, that would mean that no fall damage is given to Juniper or something?
Yeah.
I'm going to choose that one.
Yeah. So it's a -1 to the harm, but I was only going to give her 1 harm for falling. So you catch her, and somehow she was in that tree and fell out. You didn't see how she got there. And you look up, and the creature is gone.
2 for 2. You guys,
Thanks, Keith.
you're welcome. That was cool, right?
That
That was sweet.
was awesome.
I am an action hero. Okay. So
Keeper, thank you.
are we believing me now? Right?
There was that was not like human, but wasn't human. I've never seen anything like it before.
I'm just saying we need to do our research and figure out what this thing is so that we can actually do some damage. Because it is popping out of places into other places like friggin' Nightcrawler from X-Men. You've seen X-Men, right, Mr. Windermere?
Oh, Joe, you
You're
might
muted.
be muted.
I am familiar with the franchise, young man.
Terrific. So I have a lot of stuff at the movie shop, all important to the business, Mr. Windermere. I'm
You
just
get, like a package like twice a week.
yes. I'm just suggesting that we can go back there, heal up, get supplies, prepare ourselves. And I might not have I might not have mentioned this, but I got Wiccas all over the wall. So no magical things can come inside, assuming that thing is magical and not, say, like witchcraft, which is a different kind, or like just pure evil or whatever. But it should help us a little bit.
Yeah, like no magical things whatsoever, you know? That's great.
Yeah, it is great. So hands in the center.
I'm totally distracted by. I'm trying to look up at Charlotte. Like her body's still up in the tree, correct?
Yes, pierced by a branch of the tree.
We didn't get it.
Can I tell that she's dead?
She looks
look
extremely
alive?
pale. Her arm is missing, and she has a tree branch through her chest.
Oh my gosh, Charlotte. She's. Oh. And I'm gonna kind of sit on the ground for a second and just sort of take it in. My dear Charlotte. She was so
console him.
good. We must.
This is
we
really
need
going to
to
be
let-
a hit to the town's joy. For sure.
We need to let the officer know what was that thing that attacked
yeah.
her.
Ranger Roger should be on it. How long has it been since we've given him a call?
You actually see a car pull up outside the woods to where you are.
The ranger, he'll be able to do something.
Let's go talk to him. Mr. Windermere, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss.
It's fine. I'll be okay. She was really, truly irreplaceable. Juniper!
Yeah?
Get my rifle. And I start walking.
I grab your Okay, anything to make you happy, okay.
I start walking towards the. Actually, hand me the rifle. I need to reload it. I can show you how.
Here you go.
And I'm gonna just reload the rifle as I'm walking towards the car.
You guys walk out of the woods carrying a hockey stick, a bag of golf clubs, and a hunting rifle. And you see Ranger...
And Charlotte's arm with her phone in it. No, the brandy in it.
The brandy, yeah.
You see Ranger Roger Langley. He's got his big ranger hat on. His car's parked by the car that's in the ditch, and he's pointing a flashlight at the bloodstain. And as he follows it over to you three, well, Junie, you didn't mention that there was you didn't mention the car.
I did mention the car.
Oh, right.
It wasn't a bear.
Whoa. I'm sorry. Is that an arm?
Officer, this...
Not our arm.
Yeah.
Please, Kiefer, tell him what you know. You seem to have the most grasp of what is happening.
I usually don't talk to cops, but
Keith, we talked last week.
Okay, well, you usually don't like talking to cops. But...
When I caught you out by the dumpsters, you remember?
Don't worry about it. Juniper, he doesn't know what he's talking
now I know
about.
it's legal, but just be careful. Okay. Right. I said I would put it behind us. It's fine.
Yep. Thank you, boss. Right there.
You should stop hanging out with Nate. He's, Now, about this arm in your bag, is that
Officer,
a prop for a movie?
Officer, I demand you call in an investigative team. We have my dear Charlotte is in the tree back there. This is her arm. There has been a horrible crime committed.
Mr. Windermere, I've been the sheriff in this town for, by sheriff I mean ranger. I've been the ranger in this town for 7 years. And Keith, I know you like collecting movie props, but you shouldn't be walking around with a severed arm and a fake hunting rifle.
You don't understand.
You guys filming a movie?
It's the same thing that happened 73 years ago.
73? What are you talking about, Keith?
Come on, it's the friggin' only thing that's happened in this town. And, since ever.
Oh, you mean those
bodies.
Yeah, that's old news. We don't talk about that, okay? People don't like hearing that story, Keith.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me tell you a story. Why don't you come over here and I'll just tell you a story?
All right.
Can I just kind of put my hand like a chum? Just follow me. And
roll manipulate somebody.
Okay. Manipulate.
It's gonna be plus charm.
Oh gosh, what's my charm? 8.
They'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it.
I'm gonna take out the arm and be like, "Follow me."
Oh, those props are getting real. So you're saying that this here, like, okay, Keith, now I gotta ask you a serious question. You're trying to convince me that this is a real severed arm here from somebody who was in this car, and the only 3 people at the scene of the crime are you 3. So if we're actually dealing with a dead body here, which you're trying to convince me we are, which I think is a very bad joke in this town. We don't like murders here, and we don't get many of them. So I would recommend you just chill out on the practical jokes. Now, if there is a murder, and you 3 are the only ones at the scene of the crime carrying the severed arm with a hunting rifle, and look, Mr. Windermere here, is that fake blood on your face? I mean, if you're trying to pose as a murder just happened, then I don't see any reason other not to take you 3 in for questioning.
Listen, Ranger Roger, we got attacked. And so did Charlotte.
Okay, show me where Mrs. Charlotte is.
And I point up.
He looks up.
And I'm gonna walk. Let's lead him to the crime scene.
He walks in and he looks up. And he reaches and he pulls out his gun and he points it at Keith.
God, you are the worst, Sheriff.
Sir, that is an outrage.
Keith, you have the right to remain silent.
Okay,
the 3 of you.
Do you think I just threw a friggin' body up there?
I don't know what you're trying to pull, but there is a dead body right up there in that tree, and you 3 are the only ones. You're trying to tell me a bear did this?
Not a bear.
No, we're not. It was not a bear.
Well, then what was it, Keith?
Have you ever seen X-Men 3?
I'm going to need you to get in my cop car, my Ranger vehicle.
Roger.
Gosh, oh, geez.
This is what you're going to do. You are going to call your superior in the next town over, the sheriff or the sheriff of Rangers or the head of Rangers, whoever. And you are going to bring in a special team. And I will be the one pushing the buttons. I have many contacts in the upper... I know the premier of this region. And he will come down on you so hard, Roger, if you do not listen to us right now.
Mr. Windermere, you're serious, ain't you?
I'm going to try to manipulate someone. I want you to call in the backup, and you're going to leave old Kiefer here alone. He caught me when I fell. And I get a 11.
All right. Mr. Windermere, you're being dead serious.
You're darn right I am, old chap. And I know this looks suspicious, but you have my word. And my word is worth more than 10 people's words. And...
Mr. Windermere, have you been drinking the brandy tonight?
I always have been drinking the brandy. And I wouldn't dare. Charlotte, you know how dear Charlotte was to me. This was some kind of awful creature. I don't know. I cannot begin to explain what it was.
I'm gonna help him out.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he succeeded on the manipulate roll, so I don't know if you need to help him out, actually. But
Juniper, tell him what you saw.
I saw it was yellow teeth, and it was like, ugh, and it was like, ugh. It was frightening. Not a bear at all.
Okay.
I swear on the mail service, not a bear.
Listen. I understand that you saw something tonight, and we have a murder on our hands. There's a dead body in a tree. Now, Junie, I've known you for a long time. Keith, you're a relatively good kid. I mean, all things considered. And Mr. Windermere, you're a staple of this town. Yeah, you have a lot of hunting rifles, but I've never seen you actually use one. So, I mean, as far as I know, you 3 are I know you, Mr. Windermere. We go golfing in that course, a mile south of here in the summer together.
Don't tell anyone. That's our special little area. And Before we know it, the whole town will be overrun.
So I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt here, but I really do think y'all should come in because all this talk about monsters, monsters aren't real. There's like, just the other day we heard reports of a goat in the woods, but he was half man, and you know, it's ridiculous stories like that every once in a while. That
Ridiculous. Why they're into goat man? I'm sure someone was just a little bit on
Exactly
coming
my
out of the
point,
bar.
Juniper.
Something.
So
But we haven't come from the bar. I'm dead sober, and I saw something that even I would say was weird.
okay, listen. I've seen from the way you described it. Do you think it could have been a big raccoon?
No.
All right, I'm gonna
No.
call in. I'm gonna call in.
If it was a raccoon,
support.
it was taller than the Rockies. If that was the case.
He takes out his phone and he starts dialing a number, and the wind picks up, and you hear a howl.
Is it coming
Whoa.
back?
Whoa.
I'm gonna finish reloading my rifle and look around.
The
I'm gonna
creature
take out my magnum.
The creature leaps, still with an open wound in its chest, leaps out of the air towards the ranger. What
Can I
will
shoot
you?
it?
Yeah, if so, you want to shoot it, Mr. Windermere. What are you doing?
I'm gonna just give him a look out as I continue to reload my gun.
All right, I'm gonna allow that. So, okay, first we'll do. Junie, do you want to add anything to this?
I want to. Can I help someone?
Yeah. So it
Can I
sounds
grab
like.
the ranger, maybe help him move out of the way?
So both you and Mr. Windermere are going to help the ranger out, one verbally, one physically. Well, Keith tries to shoot the monster. So Keith, you can go first with a kick some ass move.
Thank you. 9.
9. So, as you shoot, how much harm does your magnum do?
Ooh, good call. 3 harm, close, reload, loud.
You blast it in the shoulder, and it. I'm gonna say, so the way that kick some ass works is you inflict harm and the creature also inflicts harm. Because it's attacking the ranger, it leaps onto him and bites down into his throat,
Oh no.
doing 2 harm. And he starts wailing. He grabs his gun and fires it wildly into the air. But as the creature makes contact with him and bites his neck, Mr. Windermere, you yell, "Look out!" Roll help out.
I rolled a 12.
Oh, good.
Is it helping?
Or actually,
Watch out, Parker.
So
Park Ranger.
you yell, "Look out!" which I'm gonna say grants a +1 to Junie's roll to protect someone, because you're trying to grab the ranger out of the way.
Yeah, so I
He-
look out.
As the monster bites into his neck, he kind of dodges out of the way as you yell, "Look out!" and he dodges towards Junie. Junie, give me a protect someone roll.
Nope. 3.
3.
Oh my-
You go to
It's
grab the
2D
ranger.
It's 2d6.
I 1 and 2. And
You-
I got 0.
You rip the ranger away from the creature, and his neck rips out with your pull. And he locks eyes with you as blood sprays out of his neck, and he clutches it. And the creature grabs him with both hands and leaps. And you just see them both vanish. And a moment later, one of the ranger's gun comes twirling down and lands in the snow, but no sign of the ranger can be seen. And that is where we're going to take our 15-minute break.
Ooh.
Welcome back. We are going to continue our story after our short rest. When we last left our 3 characters, they were in the middle of the woods trying to convince Ranger Roger of the murder of Mr. Windermere's assistant, Charlotte, at the hands of a creature that only Juniper has seen up close. Well, you tried to convince Ranger Roger. He finally decided that you were trustworthy and would make a call to try to get support. But before he could finish dialing the number, the creature appeared, ripping out his throat and carrying him off into the trees. What will you do next?
So none of his stuff is left here. He's completely gone.
His gun fell to the ground out of the trees as he soared away.
He was one of my good friends. I delivered his mail on time every day, and he even subscribed to some really wholesome magazines, like puppies.
That was really messed up.
Kiefer, you're this wealth of knowledge in this area. I have not heard of this creature in my many wealthy pursuits. What is it?
Thank you for finally having faith in me. I know it was hard to trust me at first, but it really does mean a lot that you believe me now. I have no idea what it is. It is a complete mystery, to be honest. All I can say is that something like this has happened in this town before. And if it's happened in this town before, there must be some information that we can find about it that'll help us solve it. Maybe...
I've been in this town for many years. What are you talking about?
I mean, there are the archives, the city archives in the library. They must have information if this has happened before.
That works all the time in the movies. We need to go through the archives, lick our thumbs, turn pages, go on those computer type things.
The Rolodex. The Rolodex.
The Rolodex.
News. Articles.
I not only bring my wealth, but I also bring this access card. It was Charlotte's. I miss her dearly.
Well, she's still in the tree right over there.
I miss you, Charlotte. I miss you.
Her shoe falls off and lands.
Yeah.
The best thing we can do for Charlotte's memory is to find this thing and get it out of our town. It's really messing up the joy, and I have a hard enough time bringing joy around here.
I mean, mail, you need.
Mail. Yeah, mail.
I mean, it does bring me joy.
Oh, I'm glad that mail brings you joy. I mean, when I
it
get
does,
a package
Juniper.
in the mail, it's like, brings a smile on my face. I hope it brings one to yours, but
and all of
you're
my
right,
customers.
mail.
Yeah.
I enjoy anyone that brings things to me, Juniper. Thank you.
All right, we're getting sidetracked, people.
The library. I can drive you in my van.
You can drive us. Drive me, Juniper.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So as you all pile into Juniper's...
Can I take the Ranger's gun real quick? Sorry.
Yeah, it's...
Bring it.
It's
but I'm going to pick it
same...
up with like a handkerchief because I don't trust this guy. I don't trust the department. I'm taking it.
It's basically the same type of weapon you already had, but yeah.
But I don't want my fingerprints on it.
Fair. As you pile into Juniper's mail van, is it a van? Is it a truck? Mail truck?
Truck, like a mail truck.
Yeah. So you pile into the truck and...
Is it like with the doors missing on the front, or is it closed? Okay.
It closes, but like gets stuck. I have to like cajole it a few times,
And as you start driving down towards the mage strip of town, again, Juniper, the snow starts to slow down, and you look, and Mr. Windermere and Keith are kind of frozen in place. And popping up between them is Fidget, the goat man.
Fidget! What is going on?
Junie, listen, it was supposed to be 2 weeks before I saw you again, but the Winter Queen is really upset. Joy,
At me?
listen,
Or
yeah. You're supposed to be bringing joy to this town, and there's been 2 murders in the past. Oh, sorry. He's checking his wristwatch that apparently he's wearing. 5 murders. Sorry, 5 murders in the past 24 hours?
witnessed 2 of them. I didn't know there was more.
Yeah, we're gonna need to not let anybody else get killed, Junie. Joy is plummeting. There is a large group of people in this town who are missing people and are complaining and are really sad. It's not doing well for the potency of the Fey realm for us. The Winter Queen did mention that it's possible that some malevolent spirits might have gotten through a long time ago and are awakening. Who's
guarding the gate? I guess. Well, it's been a while. But...
Junie, you know the gate was taken care of. That's why it's so hard for us to come and go. But somebody opened it back up.
Somebody opened it back up.
Yeah. Now, listen. I got something else to tell you. Okay, but this is on the down low. Okay, don't tell it. We're friends, right?
Okay, let me just. Yeah, tell me.
When that person who may have seen me followed me into the woods, I tried to run to the gate. They may have followed me. Now, okay.
They not only saw you, but they followed you to the gate.
Now listen, humans don't know what the gate looks like. It's so inconspicuous. It's just an archway made of stone with runes all around it that glows with a silvery mirror-like energy when you go near. It's not like he would know what it was. So
depending on who it is. Who was it in the community that found you?
I don't know. I don't know these people. That's your job. Junie, you need to get on your job here. The queen... The Winter Queen's gonna be really upset if you don't put a stop to this soon.
Listen, this is exceptional circumstances. I should at least get an extension on my joy percentage.
As you finish saying that, Mr. Windermere and Keith, you hear her finish saying that, and Fidget is gone.
Joy
I
percentage.
need my extension on my mail deliveries.
Focus, Juniper. I notice you distract yourself quite a lot while driving. Earlier today, I wasn't going to say anything, but you cut off Charlotte because you were on your phone. Please focus on the road.
You're right. Safety is what will bring joy and serenity to this community where there have been many murders.
To the library. Where's your traveling whiskey? I look around.
You see a golf bag with a severed arm in it holding a bottle of brandy.
My brandy, Charlotte, you are a gem.
One less.
Always where I need you to be. And I pry it out of her. I carefully pry it out of her fingers, trying to not.
You pry the brandy out of her cold, dead hands.
No, I try to respectfully.
You respectfully pry the brandy out of her cold, dead hands.
To you, Charlotte. And I begin drinking from the bottle. Sipping from the bottle.
Good. As you're driving towards town, you pass a young boy pulling a sled. And he has a blanket over the sled. And you can see what looks like a deer leg sticking out as he's pulling it on a sled towards a house nearby.
Oh, who it is?
Yes, you do, actually. This is young Tim Mason, only 11 years old. Generally, he's a bit of a problematic kid in town. His father doesn't have the best reputation. His father is Sam Mason, who is well known in town for being he frequents the bar. And actually, nobody's seen Sam. Tim Mason.
Tim Mason.
And Sam is his truck has been parked out by the woods for the last few days, and nobody's really heard from him.
I'm going to get up near the front and like look out, and I want to try to read a bad situation.
All right.
A cock die. I reroll, but I got a 12, so bragging. 7. I get an 8.
All right, you get to ask me one question.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
In this... Sorry, I just saw your cat go by.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In this current situation, you drive slowly by as Tim pulls the sled up to a house. He ruffles around in his pocket and pulls out a set of keys and goes to an old set of doors on the side of the house that go down to what look like a cellar. He unlocks it and lifts up the sled, dropping what was in it down the stairs. And it kind of lands with like the head of the deer still flopped out. And you see it slowly get pulled into the basement, and he quickly closes the door and locks it back up.
You all saw that, right?
Yeah.
You saw that creepy thing that just happened? I'm just... So, that's little Tim Mason, right? Juniper?
Yeah, that's Tim Mason. I mean, I heard his father hasn't been around in a little while.
I saw Sam, his dad, walk past my store like a week ago carrying a crowbar. For some reason. But I haven't seen him since.
Mm.
And
his mail's been piling up.
It's been bugging me because I've kind of been wondering like where he could have been going with the crowbar. And the only thing I can think of is the old mines that were boarded up. I don't know.
Why would he be going out there?
I don't know. It was a week ago. That's kind of when like the weather started. I don't know if he knows what is going around this town, if he knows more than us. Should we talk to Tim? Just be sensitive because his dad, who knows?
Don't stop the car, Juniper. Go to the library. And I'm going to try to manipulate.
All right.
8.
They'll do it, but only if... Oh, wait. For another hunter. They mark experience if they do what you ask.
I mean, it's weird what Tim did, but we should figure out what this thing is, Kiefer. You above anyone should know that once we figure it out, a kid's not going to be able to tell us what we need to know. So I continue to drive by.
All right. Guess you guys... I'm going to roll down the window and be like, hey, Tim, free movies anytime you want, buddy.
He
Stay
looks up startled and kind of stumbles and like runs inside his house and slams the door.
Sorry. Okay. All right. Well, that didn't go too well. Let's go to the library.
Thank you, Juniper.
So you pull up
Right
to the
thing to
old...
do.
You pull up to the old library, and it's a big brick building with a little. It's an ornate carving of like a book on the front that's open, and in big letters it just says library. It's a pretty standard building. This town doesn't put a lot into its architecture.
I like it.
It's just a big brick square building. You know, I'm actually basing this on my like hometown library. It's just a big square red brick building
What time
with a
of day
book on
is
the
it?
front. It's getting into the evening.
Is it open?
Oh, library's open all the time.
Okay.
Nice.
They're open
Good
late.
library.
Yeah.
So we're there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go inside, team.
I leave my gun in the car because I feel like that's the appropriate thing to do.
My hockey
Nick.
stick.
Carry my Magnum straight up to the door of the library. Doing my cool little walk.
All right.
Man.
And Junie?
I think I'll leave my hockey stick in the front seat. Yeah, it makes sense. Going to the library.
I feel like,
why would
like
you-
I'm going into the library. I feel like I'm gonna leave.
We're not in the
etiquette.
forest.
Bringing all of my weapons.
It's so appropriate for you to walk around with all these weapons on you.
It
The
is
sword.
It is about 8:15 at night. The library closes at 8:30. But you guys go in, and there, sitting at the desk, is Felicia Pinder. She's a young girl, long black hair, thick glasses, and she's reading a book. And as you walk in, she kind of looks up and is like, "We'll be closing soon.
Thank you, Felicia.
Library card, please."
Yes, this is my library card, Felicia. I attend to this library regularly, and I present the card.
She glances at it for a second. All right. Let me know if you need any assistance.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Felicia.
Felicia.
The Rolodex is back corner.
Yep, back corner. If you go past the history section, there's the little office there. What you're gonna be using the old what, I don't even remember what it's called. The newspaper Rolodex.
Rolodex. Yes. We need
All right.
history.
Well, nobody's used that thing in years. Good luck.
Hopefully it still works.
Thank you, Felicia. I'm gonna head towards the Rolodex. Still just gun drawn. I'm gonna open the door. I'm gonna go
Open
inside. I'm gonna look on the paper for 73 years ago. Brings us back to 1950. 49.
I think it was 79 years ago, actually.
79 years ago.
80 or so. Yeah.
And
So-
yeah, I'm gonna search for attacks, forest, top of tree bodies.
What you find is a rather small article. It didn't look like this wanted to be very publicly announced, but as you roll through the dates, and it eventually comes to 79 years ago, 1943. And it looks like there's an article here about a group of people that were attempting to excavate the caved-in tunnel in the mine. As they were working to excavate it, trying to get the mine back up and running, one of them was killed and the rest fled. All of the people who fled that mine were found dead within the next 24 hours. All except for one Albert Woods. He was one of the youngest people working at the excavation, and he survived. But everybody else was found dead within 24 hours, and there were rumors, it mentions in the article, of people who went crazy before eventually dying. And apparently one of the people who went crazy ate one of the other excavators.
Juniper, is this Albert guy still living in this town? Does he get mail?
Yes.
Yeah, he lives up on Old Frog Toad Road.
That's
Yeah,
right by here.
His son, Gary Woods, owns the Old Sod Bar.
Ooh, that's a good sounding bar.
And yeah, Gary owns the bar, and I mean his father comes by every once in a while, but he mainly keeps to himself. And doesn't get a ton of mail, so I don't really make my way up to Frog Toad Road very often. Very few houses.
It also mentions the cave-in that occurred 100 years ago in this article. Or in the article, it mentions the cave-in that happened years before that from today's date would be 100 years ago.
100 years? That can't be a coincidence.
Can I go on a computer and use the internet?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Now, not everybody knows this secret, but I have a little small collective that we get together and we share secret information. And I feel like they could be a great resource in helping us today. And I'm going to go to reddit.com/Monster Hunters of the North. Regarding Monster Hunters of the North. And I'm going to search for bad teeth, eating people, treetops. Do I see anything?
Roll investigate a mystery.
And that takes sharp, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. 6.
Your result comes up with a bunch of photos of meth addicts.
All right, this is a bust. Let's go talk to Albert.
I'm walking through the aisles randomly. I'm sort of exploring off on my own while these two are reading, and I want to use my oops. I want to stumble across something important. Find something important and useful, although not necessarily related to your immediate problem. So I don't know what section I'm in or what I find, but I want to use my oops.
You end up in the folklore and fairy tales section. And as you're looking around,
I hit a book.
You hit a book and it falls. Yeah, it falls onto the floor, and it is a book on Canadian urban legends.
Ooh.
I pick it up and I open it arbitrarily to somewhere in the middle.
There is a picture that you turn to.
I'm just kind of flipping through it.
This picture that you see shows a snowy woods at night and a creature far larger than the one you saw in the woods, with deep black holes for eyes. It looks like a mix between a human and with some animalistic properties. Its legs look like they're 6 feet long, with its knees bent and it's hunched over a body feasting on it. It has deer-like antlers growing out of its head. And at the top is the myth of the Wendigo.
What a horrifying looking creature. And I throw it back on a pile of books. And I continue to browse as I... Juniper, Kiefer, have you found what you were looking for yet? Can we leave?
I want to sneak. Is there a washroom? I ask Felicia. Felicia, is there a washroom.
She
My
points to
bladder
the
can't take all this excitement.
she points to the sign that says washrooms right next to you.
Guys, I'll be right back. And
No
I'm gonna-
yelling, Juniper. This is a library.
I'll be right back.
I yell.
And I wanna go to the washroom and lock it. And I'm injured at this point. I've taken some harm, and I want to use my magic to heal 1 harm from an injury.
All
I'm
right.
gonna roll that.
You yeah.
Oh wow, okay. I rolled 2 6s, so 12, and I have a +3, so 15.
Woo!
You heal 1 harm. You heal right up. You where the creature clawed you across the face. You kind of hold your hand up to the face, and what does it look like when you use the magic?
It's like a blue light, but it's like warm. You know when fire is like blue, it's so warm. It's like joy. It's the joy coming out. I have to think of joyous things when I do this. I'm just like delivering packages, people smiling at me, delivering mail.
Your face heals up perfectly, and it's while you're doing this, Fidget appears again in the washroom, and he's sitting on the counter, legs crossed, writing in a notepad. 6 murders, Junie.
There was 5.
Well, now there's 6.
6.
The Winter Queen is going. Junie, we don't know what to do about this.
Do you know what's happened? What is causing all these murders? At least
I
give
don't
me some
know. I'm
information
just
so
a
I can work on it.
messenger. I just work for the Winter Queen. I'm just here. By the way, there is something I need to tell you.
Again?
Yeah. It turns out that this malevolent spirit that may have gotten out, it definitely got out. It was about 100 years ago when we opened the gates. It looks like it's been hiding out all this time, and it got out once before. Something like almost 80 years ago, I think, caused a bunch of problems, but we took care of it. Unless somebody opened up the mine and found the gateway, there's no way it would be the same thing. But
It might be the same thing.
by
I
the
don't
way,
know about this. In HR, they probably gave me this territory just to give me trouble.
listen, I'll bring this up to HR. No, nobody did this on purpose, Junie. The Winter Queen wants reign over this territory. It's winter right now. It's our time. We need joy high. Otherwise, the Winter Queen is going to lose her reign. And she doesn't want that. So,
No.
you're in charge of delivering mail and joy, like all mail delivery people are. And if you don't hit 25%, we're going to have to pull out. We're going to have to get the Winter Queen out of here, and we're going to have to find new territories to reign over. We're going to lose Northern Ontario.
This town, I'm going to make sure this town stays as joyous as it can be. I'm going to even bet that I can go over 25%. Just give me a chance to figure out who's murdering or what's murdering all these things, and I'll do it.
People are concerned. By the way, if there's that kid who works at the convenience store, if he mentions having seen a goat man wandering around, just tell him it was nothing. It was a raccoon, probably. All right? Thanks, Junie. And he
Oh,
disappears.
Fidget. He needs to give me a break. Okay. Well, at least I know it's the mine, and I'm gonna go tell the guys. And I rush out of the bathroom, healed.
Junie, your face. You're all better.
Makeup. I didn't want to worry you guys, so don't worry about it.
I get it. Online tutorials. They are a wonderful thing.
Mr. Windermere, your cell phone rings.
Juniper! Bring me my cell phone. As it rings in your hand. Thank you, Juniper. Hello?
Mr. Windermere, it's Bill. Just calling to ask how the kids are doing. Did you get up there?
Oh, dear Bill, you have the stories I have to tell you.
I'm just really...
What an adventure. It's terrible news. We've lost Charlotte. She's gone.
She mentioned going on a vacation. You finally let her do it?
Old man Bill, this is not the time. You're right, those children, they must be in danger.
Listen, I don't want to make things any worse for y'all, but the storm that's coming in, it's really picked up, but oddly, I don't know. It's gonna sound crazy, Mr. Windermere. I don't want to stir the pot or anything. Never mind.
Old man Bill, you're right. Don't stir the pot. I have enough on my plate. And I hang up and I look at Juniper. Juniper! Kiefer, we must rush to the aid of those children that I left. I believe they're young teenagers, but they are in trouble. If this creature is wild, it might get them. We must make sure that cabin is secure and that their payment is secure. To the mailmobile.
Wait,
Mr. Windermere.
Shouldn't we figure out how to weakness or what this thing is? Or
We gotta talk to Albert first. He knows what this thing could be. It's gonna help us before we go there. Otherwise,
Albert.
we're just giving this guy more food.
yeah, and I mean,
Albert. Oh, sorry.
we
that's
don't know
from
what's
the
going
new-
on with Tim Mason and Sam Mason. You know, they are like going towards the woods, towards the tunnels. There could be something there.
There's children in danger. You must understand. I have a responsibility as a landlord to make sure that they don't die. It's in the clause. There's a lot of legal paperwork that I'm aware must be done. I've lost your Charlotte. She usually
Windermere,
handles
as your
this.
diligent employee who only wants to see the best for you and to see your assets rise, obviously, I just think the best course of action is to save those kids 100%. Hundo P.
We agree.
But in order to do that in the best way possible, we need to gather information from Albert first. He's on the way, kinda.
He better hurry.
Keith, do you want to manipulate or attempt to manipulate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
okay. I like the amount of
So-
manipulation rolls you guys are doing on each other. It's great.
Let's see. So that was a 3 that I rolled. Oh wait, no, it's not gonna be above.
You have
4,
offended Mr. Windermere.
How dare you talk to me, Kiefer? My most trusted servant, you must understand the importance of life lies above all else. I do not need to know what this creature is to know that I must protect those teenagers. Juniper, start the mailmobile.
Wait, I'm your most trusted servant?
Now that Charlotte's dead,
Then
you have
trust
risen
me,
in rank.
Mr. Vandermeer. Trust me.
Charlotte would listen doubtfully. Is it because I did not give you my phone? Do you wish to have more responsibility? Where are my clubs? Where am I?
Here, I haven't taken them off.
I'm gonna head out towards the. I'm gonna stomp off towards the mailmobile.
Okay, can I just stop Juniper before she follows?
Yeah.
To have a word.
What's up,
Juniper,
Keith?
this freaking guy is gonna get everybody killed. Can we just say we're going to save those kids and just go to Albert's? You're the one driving. He's never left his friggin' mansion. He doesn't know where we're going.
I
Listen,
will,
he says. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I will present the option that in Monster of the Week, you do have a more reliable option of splitting up than you do in Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm gone. I'm going to the mailmobile.
I have the keys. Listen, he just said he wanted to save kids. There's a kid that his father's been missing this whole time. I think maybe we should go talk to Tim Mason. He might have some information.
Now we want to talk to Tim Mason.
Well, I mean, his father got lost in the woods, and
by the end of this, all of you guys are gonna listen to me from the friggin' get-go.
Felicia, who's sitting at the desk, kind of perks up, and I can't help but notice you're talking about children in trouble, monsters. What is it that you three are doing tonight?
Felicia, there's something going on. You go, Kiefer. You tell her.
Felicia, my dear. Now, this is a small town. We love everybody here. But everybody's freaking dying! Everybody's being pulled into the woods and getting put on top of trees like freaking marshmallows and being roasted to death, Felicia! And we need to save them!
Have you been hanging out by the dumpsters again?
Obviously, Felicia. You saw me there when you came and you partook. But that's besides the point. I have a clear mind. Kind of. It's, for the most part, it's as clear as it's been for years.
Felicia, listen, there's joy leaching out of every snowflake that is dropping to the ground.
Yeah, we live in Pine Ridge.
Beautiful.
That's pretty par for the course, Junie.
But you know me, I'm a generally joyful kind of person. There are people
it's weird.
Dying out there. Like,
what do you mean dying?
Sammy.
Felicia, I take out the arm from the
oh my! She jumps back.
There's a freaking arm, Felicia.
She screams and runs out of the building.
Sorry, Felicia.
Was that too much, Juniper?
Yeah, you could have at least implied that it was a prop for a movie.
Movies have desensitized me. Let me tell you. Okay, so do you want to go talk to Tim then? Are we just going to lie to Mr. Windermere?
Well,
I am down. I am down.
Yeah, I'll just tell him we're going to go and then we'll stop.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Secret alliance?
We're friends.
Secret handshake?
Kiefer. We're friends. You know?
Right. You got my back, Judy. Thank you. All right.
So, Mr. Windermere, your friends did not follow you out, but Felicia came screaming out the door shortly after.
I'm gonna. Is the van unlocked?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grab my rifle, and I still have like a bunch of I have like a pocket full of bullets in my coat, and I it's reloaded. I check, and I start trudging off towards the road. I want to try to wave someone down driving by. Is there anyone driving by?
Yeah, in a pretty like beat up old car, it pulls up and the window goes down, and you see young James Rock, the local gym bro. He owns the gym that just opened nearby, and he rolls down his window. He's like, "Yo, what up, Mr. Windy?"
Yes, yes, the new gym owner, Mr. Anyways,
it's Mr. Rock, man.
Listen,
I like to rock.
Mr. Rock, there's a crisp $100 bill for a quick drive up the road towards my estate. Do you know it?
Which one? You own like half the
True.
town.
Fair
bro.
question.
You want like the big one, the little one, the one over? Yeah,
I'm trying to go to the Airbnbs, right? Like the cottages.
You're the big estate on the mountain. It's like the number. It's the big.
Take me to the big estate on the mountain. You know the way.
Oh, $100.
200. You drive a hard bargain.
Yeah, sure. Get in, bro.
and so I'm gonna get in the car. Don't mind my hunting rifle, and
whatever,
I'm gonna use. Don't worry, I'll check it out. Whenever you go off by yourself to check out somewhere, scary, mark experience. So
sweet. You two walk out of the library to see James's car veer off around the road with Mr. Windermere inside.
Listen,
Did he
Kiefer,
just ditch us?
let him go. He's gonna get the head on this thing. Hopefully nothing happens to him. But we'll get some information and then we'll meet him up there. We at least know where he's going.
I could care less. I'm down to do whatever we got to do. Let's go talk to Tim. Maybe talk to Albert if we have time. He's got a cell phone. He's fine.
Juniper has my cell phone.
I just hear that from like the wind. Oh,
You-
James, who's driving, looks at you and goes, "What?"
I just realized I left my cell phone with Juniper. She
Uh,
is
If you need to make a call, you can borrow mine, bro.
no
whose car
call
was that?
needed.
Back to Junie and Keith.
Whose car did Mr. Windermere just get into?
That's the local gym owner, James Rock. He has a lot of fitness magazine subscriptions, like 10 of them. It's a lot of deliveries.
All right. Well, at least we know who he's with if you have his phone. So I don't know. Maybe we can call him or whatever. Who cares?
I'm sure it's in his. I think he has the number for everybody in town. So,
Let's go.
all right.
Juniper does?
No, Mr. Windermere.
Oh, okay. True. We can use his phone. Good call. All
Yeah,
right.
I know his code 5555.
I wrote it down, and as soon as I was done, I was like, I'm gonna remember that. That's pretty easy.
So, should we check on Tim or should we go see Mr.
Albert?
Mr. Woods?
Mr. Woods. Okay. So Tim might have been feeding something in his basement. You saw what I saw, right? Threw a friggin' deer down there.
Yeah.
We didn't see any potential monster at Albert's place. Not that we've been there. But, you know, my thought process is if there's a monster there, maybe we should talk to Albert, get some information, and maybe that'll help us when we talk to Tim. Does that make sense?
All right. Yes, but
You
we
down?
should check on Tim because it's some weird behavior.
We are going to check on Tim. I'm giving him a free movie voucher, and I'm going to write a little thing that says forever on it. He is set. You know, if he doesn't
So
die
nice.
in the meantime. Yeah, you know, I'm pretty nice. Oh, you like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice stuff.
Joy.
All right, cool. All right, good.
Yeah.
Joy goes up 1% in the town.
All right.
It's dropped about 15. Oh, you were at 15%. It's dropped. It's at what? So it was at 1%. It's now up to 2.
Every
We're
little bit
working on
counts.
it.
So should we hop in the van?
My truck? Yes.
Your truck, I mean? Do.
The mail truck drives off towards Old Toad Road or Old Frog Road.
Frog Toad Road.
Frog Toad Road. And it pulls up to the last cabin on the street. It's a pretty secluded location. Wintry fields stretch out behind it. And there's no car in the driveway. Gary is probably working at the bar at this hour. But there's still a light on inside.
I go up and do my professional mail knock. Firm, but loud. Yeah.
You hear...
That was somehow firm but loud but polite.
you hear
Brings me joy.
a
Stir people
muffled
they don't want to,
voice.
but they need to know that their packages and mail are here.
A muffled voice from inside goes, "Come in."
I'm gonna
Hi.
open the door.
Open the door a bit. I say, Mr. Woods, it's Juniper Albright.
I can't get up and answer the door, unfortunately, but you're welcome to enter.
Oh, thank you, sir. I brought my friend Kiefer. He just has some questions for you. If that's all right.
Is that the mail delivery woman?
Oh, me? Yeah. Yes. Juniper Albright. I mean, you know, it's I don't bring you very much mail, but it's always been a delight.
Oh, thank you. Yes, your friend. This is highly unusual. We usually don't get visitors at such late hour, and I don't get many visitors at all. But I suppose I could answer a question.
This
Thank
is under
you.
unusual circumstances. Some weird things are going on in the town, and well, some weird things happened 70 years, 80 years ago.
Oh, you're here to talk about that.
Yeah.
What do you...
And listen, I don't mean to rob you of any joy bringing back some bad memories, but we need to know. Hopefully getting this off your shoulders will bring you some rest and peace and joy.
Well, recalling the story is one of the least joyful things I could think of doing. But, alas, it's been a while since I've told anybody. I was on the excavation team because of the cave-in that happened those years before. Several miners found
Like
something.
underage people?
No.
Just clarifying. Thank you. Continue.
They were working in the mine. The miners.
Miners.
Sorry.
They-
Got off track.
They uncovered something deep in the mine. There are stories and rumors they found a hidden cave buried in the mine, and I don't know what else. Only none of them are alive anymore to tell about it, but when they uncovered the cave, it caused a strange, mild earthquake and a cave-in, and those miners were trapped down there for months. Several people tried to uncover the passageway a few times. We were able to find one body starved to death down there. We assume the rest fell to the same fate. 80 years ago, me and a group of people decided that we would excavate the mine, trying to uncover whatever it is they had found and open the mines back up. And right when we made a passage through, something came out. It was an evil thing. Nobody really believes me when I talk about it, but it was a creature. Its eyes like two black holes. Its skin stretched across its frame. It looked human, but much taller. Its teeth were sharp. It had antlers on its head, and it stared at me, and I fled. I ran from that mine, and my friends did not run as swiftly as I did. And I never saw any of them again.
I'm going to whisper to Junie so that Mr. Woods doesn't hear because I don't want to upset him. Is that the same thing that you saw tonight?
110%.
Oh,
The thing that you
right.
saw did not have antlers and was the size of a normal person.
Minus the size, minus the antlers, but it definitely had that weird skin condition.
Maybe it just hasn't reached its full potential. Maybe we still have a chance to stop it.
After the deaths, he continues, not realizing that you told him this.
Okay.
He's staring off into his fire, just mumbling. After the deaths, me and some other townsfolk boarded up those mines. There were 2 entrances to the mine that we had to board up. One deep in the woods, and one up in the mountains near that old estate.
So one, I'm going to kind of like do an aside with Junie again. One where I think Sam went, and then one where Mr. Windermere is going right now.
We cut to... James pulls up to the old tram station. There's the road pass that goes up the mountain is covered in snow. So there's an old tram that goes across the cliffs over to where the estate is. And James pulls up to it and says, Bro, I don't know about this. This old thing, I haven't, since I moved to town, nobody's used this.
Look, James, you're a strong man. You're gonna come help me look after these teenagers. And I'm gonna try to manipulate someone.
Sure.
I get a 12.
Nice.
What do we do? What are we expecting up there, Mr. Windy?
Not only do they do what I want right now, but they become my ally for the rest of the mystery. Come, James, bring your phone, bring your muscles. We have to save some children.
Are we expecting any sort of danger, dude?
I have a gun, James. What do you think?
He pops open his trunk and he has some weights. He has a baseball bat. He has his own hunting rifle.
Bring that gun and a wrench if you have it.
He grabs a toolbox that he has.
Perfect.
Slings it over his shoulder, grabs the gun, looks at it, he's like, I don't have any ammo. He grabs the baseball bat instead.
Perfect.
Do you want a second? Like, I can bring the gun if you want to share your ammo.
No, that's not necessary. We do not want to share, startle these children. This is simply a precaution, and it is a dear treasure of mine, and I seem to have lost my vehicle. My driver was dismembered earlier.
Oh, that sucks.
It's quite terrible loss. It hasn't fully sunk in. I'm still in quite a bit of shock. Come, James. And I close my door and I start walking towards the tram.
He puts his baseball bat on his back and heads to the tram car with you. Now the tram station, there's a little station with an operation sort of panel, and it shows like a little map of the area with the estate on the map, the two tram stations, and there's a few switches to get things up and running. Mr. Windermere, you have no idea how this thing works. You've never used it before.
James, turn on the trolley.
How?
There must be a manual here somewhere. And I start rifling through cupboards and I start looking at buttons, like trying to figure out which one would like turn it on or power it up.
I'm gonna have you roll act under pressure. We're gonna see if you can finagle this thing.
I get a 7.
You manage.
I get a 7. Yeah.
Yeah. You press a few buttons at random, and all of a sudden the whole tram lights up, and you see it start to move across immediately. You've activated it already. Nobody's on it yet, but it starts to leave the station. What
James,
do you do?
get on! And I rush towards the door.
All right. James jumps onto the tram, and you are going to make another act under pressure roll.
Ooh, I only get a 4, so I'm going to use a luck point.
All right. You slip as you jump, and James grabs you by the collar and pulls you on.
James, nice catch.
You gotta be careful there,
man.
Mr. W. He's getting to know you better. You've gone from Mr. Windy to Mr. W.
James, it's a tricky business being rich, but you have to be willing to take some risks.
Oh yeah, I own the
Thanks
gym,
for not letting
man.
me die there.
I take, you know what we say, no risk, no gain. That's a saying at the gym.
It's an interesting slogan you've bet on, James. I hope it pans out for you.
Thanks. I wanted to do something different than the no pain, no gain. I figure nobody likes pain, so no risk, no gain. You know, you gotta risk it if you want to gain.
James, if you're looking for a fund, now is not the time. If you're looking for a handout, I'm not really interested in your elevator pitch or your trolley pitch, what have you. We need to rescue these children.
All of a sudden, you're about halfway across, and the power goes back out on the tram. And it stops dead.
I James, hand me your phone.
James hands you his phone.
I call my own number.
Hey, don't pick it up.
Mr. Windermere! What is the trouble? Mr. Windermere! What?
Juniper?
Is everything okay?
I've lost you. I am looking for those children, and I seem to have gotten stuck on the tram.
Mr. W.
Not now, James. Now listen, Juniper. I need you to come start the tram pronto.
There's something out there.
There's always something out there, James. One moment, Juniper. Yes, James, what is it?
He points, and you can see climbing up onto the wires of the tram is this figure, and it's starting to inch its way across the wire towards you.
Juniper, I've found the creature. It is attacking James and myself.
Can you kill him? Can you run away from it?
I am stuck on a tram, Juniper. Listen.
He's in trouble.
Come, you need to get over here pronto. Start the tram. And I drop the phone, and I swing my gun up, and I attempt to shoot at the creature.
Give me a kick.
Actually,
some
I'm
ass.
gonna shoot it right at it. Like I can see it through a window, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't give a duck. Oh man, that's not good. I only get a 5.
Your shot misses the creature and hits the wire.
Oh gosh.
And you hear the twanging sound of snapping. It doesn't give out, but there's a lurch, and the tram drops a foot, and the creature continues to slide across. We cut to Junie and Keith. What are you doing?
So is Mr. Brooks like done talking? Is he like it's
He's still staring into the fire, and he's like, and
So-
that was the darkest day of my life. But then things got better. I ended up getting married to my beautiful wife, God rest her soul, and
gonna start
giving
clapping in front of
birth
his
to
face and be like, "Okay, wake up, old guy. We need some
Oh.
important information right now, okay?"
What else
Listen,
did you want to know?
I'm a little bit more blunt than my friend Junie here. We need to know how you survived and everybody else died. Is it just because you ran away, or is there something special about you? It's important.
Well, when I got out of the mine, it was dark out. So I remember lighting a lantern, and I thought the creature was following me, but it never came very close.
A lantern. Light.
Boom. Got it. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Brooks. I'm gonna take out the pamphlet.
And now
free-
I just spend my
rentals.
days sitting by this fire,
give it to him.
recalling stories of old.
That's great, Mr. Brooks. That's great, buddy.
I enjoy the warmth of
Okay.
the fire. It's
Yep.
We have to
Alright.
go.
Junie, start walking out. Okay.
I
we're
Run
gonna
out
be
the
back.
door.
We're gonna be back and keep this conversation going.
Sometimes I think I hear it at night.
All right. Bye bye.
Kiefer. Mr.
And you leave him there, sitting by the fire.
Mid story.
I appreciate the info. Close the door.
I turn to you, Kiefer, and say, Kiefer, Mr. Windermere is in trouble, in major trouble. He needs my help. He needs our help.
Fine.
And I think if we don't get there now, something bad's gonna happen to him.
All right. Well, I'm taking his golf clubs and I'm making a friggin' torch out of these.
No, Kiefer, I don't think you understand. We need to get there now. and Kelly, tell me if this is okay. I want to use magic to teleport us to Mr. Windermere.
Oh!
Give me a use magic roll.
Okay. 8.
Don't forget you have luck points.
I'm gonna use the luck point.
All right. You use your luck point. All of a sudden, you and Keith appear in...
Oh, my chest, my stomach.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Don't worry.
Oh, Joni.
James looks over and... What? Dude. Where? What?
Jump,
what he-
Juniper.
Yes,
Okay.
and I jump a bit.
As the four, you guys and James Rock, all gather in the tram, the creature climbs along the wire towards you. It lifts its head up and you can see the 2 wounds in it. It's the same one that you attacked in the woods. You look out towards the town. From up here, you actually can see the tops of all the trees and the speckled glow of all of the buildings in the town. As the creature inches its way forward, you stuck halfway across the tram car. You can see Mr. Windermere's estate on the mountaintop. A flicker of light coming from inside, but the rest of the power is out. And suddenly, the wind picks up, and you see something else. Across on the other side of the tram, near the estate, a swirl of snow starts to gather. The wind picks up, the snow starts to fall heavier. It's almost whiteout conditions. You can barely make out the creature comes and goes through drifts of snow, climbing across the wire slowly towards you. And in that swirl of snow near the estate, you see something else. A much larger creature. Stand almost as tall as the house. It lifts up on its legs, peering over the house, with a large deer-like snout, but made of bone with these dark pools for eyes. It stands like an emaciated human with long claws, 6-foot-long legs, a spindly body with large antlers coming off the top of its head. And it lets out a deafening howl that echoes through the wind. To some, it might sound like just the howl of a winter eve, but you hear in it the chorus of animal and man merge together, running chills down your spine. And as it does so, the storm picks up even harder. The tram sways in the wind, and you hear the line giving way. And the power in the town below goes out completely, and you hear several more howls from down below. And that is where we will end for the evening. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Well done, Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you. So we will be continuing this session of Monster of the Week next week to finish off this story, which is titled The Woods Are Lovely, Dark, and Deep. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and a very special thank you to our friends Jill, Joe, and Mitch for playing such wonderful and fun characters. I don't know, I guess, Joe, if you want to do,
I wanted to say that big shout out to Kelly for running the stream and hosting a fantastic session as keeper. This has sort of been Kelly's project, and I had a lot of fun playing in your game tonight. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a blast. The characters are so fun. I didn't really know where this was going to go, but I'm really happy. I don't know. It's great. I'm having a lot of fun. For those of you, I mean, I think we revealed the monster. I think we did. But
Wendigo.
I found it really weird that from the moment I started writing this till we played it, so in the past 2 weeks, I have come across about 3 or 4 things that I just naturally was going to get into anyway, that all ended up being about the Wendigo. And it was weird because I was already working on this. And I was watching a TV show. I'm like, wait a second, is this a Wendigo? Then I was checking out a movie and I was like, wait a second. It just started popping up everywhere. And it's been really bizarre. And not to mention the day before we decided to stream, Toronto gets hit with the biggest snowstorm
I was
ever.
gonna say,
Yeah.
And
I was like, I can really imagine myself in this
yeah.
because we're in it.
yeah, I will always plan to make it based on the date that we were playing on, but it was so funny that yesterday I woke up and I was like, the Wendigo has come. So it was really great to, I don't know, really set the mood. Jill, do you want to mention, I know that we're doing Monster of the Week, but we still do have other stuff on sale for Drakkenheim, so let's talk about that.
Of course. Don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes t-shirts, including for Drakkenheim, yes, Draken Force, as well as our newest, which is Shadows of Drakkenheim, which also can come in a poster as well as a sweater. So check that out at bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
And maybe we should put a Monster of the Week shirt up there. I don't know what it would be or what it would say, but I don't know. If you're interested, let us know.
Shirt. Ooh.
Yeah, that could be fun. So yeah, we'll brainstorm that. And Mitch, very special thank you to Mitch as being our guest this evening. It's always a pleasure to have you here. I don't know, you're a great part of the team, and you bring a lot of fun to the Monster of the Week streams.
Thanks. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I'm just getting back into the swing of things of this character role playing stuff, and so I hope everybody had fun, and I'm looking forward to next week. And yeah, I feel spoiled because anytime I get a chance to play these types of games, it's with the best people. So I'm truly happy and honored, so thank you guys.
And actually, Mitch, before we close off for the evening, you and Joe and Kyle have your own
shameless plug time.
Shameless plug, go ahead.
I've been waiting for it. Thank you so much. Joe or Garmin, myself, and Kyle, that you know from chat for all the Dungeon Dude stuff, and perhaps as this person, we have our own gaming channel, Quarter Life Gaming. We have a YouTube channel. We have a Twitch that we stream every Monday at 8 p.m. with some other streams going up sometime. We have a Discord. It's Quarter Life Gaming. If you just, want to come hang out with us, watch us play video games, joke around, our Discord is a great place to meet other gamers. You can meet up, hang out, play games, talk to like-minded, nice people. And then last Sunday of every month, we have a community game night where you can play with us. And this Sunday, we are going to play a Jackbox Party Pack game.
Yeah.
For whoever wants to join, you're welcome to. I think you can have 50 people and participants and stuff.
No limit.
And then, there might be some other groups playing Left 4 Dead or whatever. But yeah, it's a good opportunity just to hang out and, have a good time playing games. So come join us, Quarter Life Gaming.
Awesome. So yeah, check out Quarter Life Gaming if you want to hang out with Mitch, Joe, and Kyle and play some video games. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, definitely check us out next week when we continue The Woods Are Lovely, Dark and Deep, part 2 of the story, and see how our friends get out of their predicament that they find themselves in. So we'll see you all next week. Same mystery time, same mystery channel. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.